Gary Vaynerchuk is a serial entrepreneur, investor, one of the most sought after public speakers alive today, and a 4-time New York Times best-selling author. He went from being born in the Soviet Union and living in a studio apartment with 8 family members to starting his own businesses and now being worth over $160 million. Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men all my life. Like na 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 na. For my top 10, top 10, na 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 na. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and I make these videos because you are probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more, and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Gary Vaynerchuk, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Learn hard work.
There's a lot of push towards being a workaholic, and hard work is a learned behavior. I see it in my team. There's people that come into I've seen it in the thousands of employees I've had, which is the closer they are to the sun, the harder they work. And I'm like, aha. And so I definitely feel like I learned hard work by watching my parents. And so it's why I talk so much about hustle.
Because it's one of the things that people can actually adjust and turn to.
I watch people give advice completely predicated on natural talent and DNA, and I'm like, look, like I get it, like I can throw a football every day for 9 hours a day. I'm just not physically built to be competitive at the highest levels. So yeah, I do think, if anybody watching right now, if there's anything they take away, it's like, look, like you're gonna only be so pretty, you're only gonna be so smart, there's things that are gonna be natural, and then there's things that you can actually control. I do believe, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, I don't, but I do believe that work ethic is a taught behavior. It's something you do have more control over. And yeah, I think, and you know what really sealed the deal for me? Getting healthier. I was 38 years old and it didn't come natural to me. Like it didn't come natural to me at all. I hate the gym. I hate it now. I hate it, I don't like it, I don't wanna do it. But I knew it was important. And somewhere around midway through being 38 years old, I got serious, I figured out my system, I made the financial commitment, and I've won.
Rule number 2, treat your health well.
30 and a half, I'm on this random flight, I'm just laying there, not feeling tired, not feeling lethargic, no cliche thing, no heartburn, that I think I'm getting a heart attack, nothing. I'm just laying there and I'm saying, if I treated my health the way I treated businesses, I'd win. And so I just started, actually, I remember what happened because I was like, doesn't feel right. I was thinking about my 40th birthday. And I was thinking, at 30, I changed my life. I went from the executor to, I need to go for it. If I don't do from 30 to 40, it's not gonna happen. So let me go for it in that decade. And I was like, what am I gonna do at 40? Weirdly, I don't feel the same pressure I did at 30. I think I'm on a better career path. Like I don't feel the angst to it didn't feel right to triple down on work. And so I said, health is nowhere close to where it should be. I'm the way I make fun of people in business, you're not doing anything right that's gonna help you long term. I'm not doing anything right with health. When I turn 40, I'm gonna get serious. So then a week later, I'm on a flight. Again, flights made me think. And I'm like, the f am I waiting to 40 for? I could do a lot of bad in this next 18 months. 39 in November, this is around May. And in November, I'm gonna go for it. And literally the next morning, I'm like, why?
Rule number 3, stop complaining.
Life is broken down into complaining and not. So if you're not complaining, well then I have no advice for you. I'm pumped. Like you did it. Like I have friends who make $42,000 a year, work 9 to 4, kind of, with an hour and a half lunch and 45 minutes of YouTube and 10 minutes of bullshit and an hour of complete wasted time in a meeting. So they're kind of working like 6, hours a week, right? But they're pumped.
Right.
And they text me, these are high school friends, and they'll text me like how happy they are to be the coach of their kids' baseball team. And that's amazing. Like that seems very obvious to me. That's right. What's super weird? I'm actually weirdly envious. You know, like it sounds cool, like in theory, right? Grass is always greener, right? Like far less pressure, you know, like all that time with my kids, oof, that would be cool. Like there's just like all these things that I can justify. So to me, but I have friends who have $100 million in the bank because of Facebook's IPO, who complain, who are still hungry, who want to do even more, who will complain to me because they know I work a lot about no work-life balance and they don't get to spend enough time with their family. And I'm like, you have $100 million. Like you could stay home, like you're in control. Like you don't complain about it. You've made that choice. Don't bullshit me. Like you want to spend more time with your family? Spend more time with your family.
Rule number 4, don't focus on one thing.
Who gets to decide what focus is? I have a wine company, a shoe deal, content, VaynerMedia, wine library, Gary V, baseball cards I'm trying to sell, garage sale. I'm the least focused you'll ever meet. Guys, if you're a real entrepreneur, you kind of can't just do one thing. That's how we're f***ed up, right? Like, I'm gonna come up with 3 business ideas in the next hour. And I'm gonna do that every day, and I'll probably do 2 of them in the year, because that's what makes us happy.
Also, if you want to have more confidence, self-love, and motivation, check out my 254 series where every day for the next 254 days, I will send you an email with a link to an unlisted video to boost your confidence. The link to join is in the description below, and they're free.
We are strong as shit. We're really f***ing strong. We're just being sold that we're not, because there's a lot of money. Maybe you've lost who you are or what you want, or maybe you've accomplished kind of, or maybe you feel it's achievable. I would be crushed if I thought what I wanted to achieve was super achievable. My ability to only be comfortable in massive chaos has been my biggest asset as an entrepreneur. Like, I would never take a f***ing note. Like, that scares the piss out of me what these 3 people are doing right now.
Rule number 5, be confident.
When you look yourself in the mirror, what do you see and what do you say to yourself?
Probably the most egotistical things that I say. I'm probably most egoed out when I'm talking to myself, which means that I've got a lot of confidence and ego. I really, whenever I talk to myself in the mirror, it's always the same thing, which is like, you're gonna do it, man. You're good. Like it's real good stuff. And it's not like false pumping up. I only do it 7 times a year, but like something would have just happened, either adversity or something great. And I'll look myself and say, we got this. I got a funny, Kevin Durant walked off the field, off the court the other day against the Warriors. And it was a big game, day before the Super Bowl, and they lost. It was the first time they played, and the Warriors are having probably the greatest season of any basketball, right?
Yeah.
And he did something that me and AJ took note of. He kind of shook his head and said, okay, yeah. And he gave me that like, okay, you won, but we'll see you. And we got a shot. I got this.
Right.
And that's what I do with myself. Like if something good or bad's happening, I'll look myself in the mirror and I'll just say, like I know I'm built for this.
Rule number 6, don't judge yourself.
Do you feel like you judge yourself?
I don't. That's a very, very, very good observation. And it's what I want for everybody else. We're beating ourselves up. Like everybody sucks at something, right? Like we all have shortcomings and we all have strengths. And for me, it's like, why don't we just audit that? Like, why don't we just look at it that way and be like, all right, well, I'm good at this, but I'm not good at that. Like, and then I only focus what I'm good at, right? Like, I don't dwell that I can't fix shit around the house. I call somebody to fix it. Like, I'm not a man. I don't give a f***. Like, I don't get it. Like, we all, like, I also think it's awesome that I'm so emotionally stable and I'm the emotional backbone of everybody. Is that what a dude's supposed to do? Like these cliches, these stereotypes, they're so silly. You're exactly right, man. I don't judge myself. I'm fully in love with myself. But I'm also fully in love with everybody else too, right? It's not like it goes both ways. Like I tell people to buy into me, that work for me, it's because I buy into them first. Like I don't need anybody to gain trust with me. It's there. Like I believe that the human race is so grossly underrated. We are good. Of course we have some bad. There's 7 billion of us. But like when you look at our net score, it's bonkers shit. Like, do you know how much damage we could be doing to each other on an hourly basis and we don't? Like we're still here. Like we won. We're the alpha being and we've figured out how to stay together. This is insane when you think about it. And yet everybody wants to dwell on like somebody said something mean.
Rule number 7, live life on your terms.
And you don't think it's possible to grow the entrepreneur?
I do.
Okay.
I think it's possible to grow anything. Okay. I think that I could be a better singer in 3 years. I think that I could be a better basketball player. Do I think I can become Beyonce and LeBron even if I started at 6 years old? No, I do not.
Yeah, that's right.
And so,
but you have a better chance of being a master entrepreneur than a master basketball player.
I don't know. I don't know is how I answered that. I do think that salesmanship and organizational understanding and reverse engineering and pattern recognition is absolutely a talent. And I think, Grant, it's funny you asked me that. I think we in the world have accepted music and sports as a pure play talent. And I think entrepreneurship is something we think everybody has. And I do think everybody can. And by the way, I think it's phenomenal to go from working at a job and not being on your own rules to making a business that makes $89,000 a year, but you get to do it your way. In a world where people need to be more practical, meaning not everybody's gonna be a millionaire. It's just the truth, the data's against you. But it is phenomenal to live a life where you get to make the rules and you make enough money to live your life.
Rule number 8, follow the 51-49 principle.
51-49. I would run a 51, I'd run a slash, and I'd run a 49.
What's it mean?
It would mean that I wanted to give everybody that ever came across me 51% of the value. And that's how I live my life. I so know what to do with the 49 that I want to give 51. It's leverage. It's how I think about it. It makes me feel good. I love being liked. Lewis, look, you and I run in similar circles and around a lot of different things. You know what I'm about to say is so true, and I'm very proud of this, and I am saying this because I want everybody to hear it. Do you know how nice it feels for me to know that anybody that you talk to when my name gets brought up that knows me even a little bit thinks I'm great, and only the people that don't? Like, whatever I have in hate or they don't believe the hype or what's he really about, they just don't know me.
Yeah.
And anybody that spent any amount of time, like, listen, there could be moments in time, but I know that the 137 times I've been brought up in different cocktail parties or things like that you've rarely heard from somebody who's interacted with me negative.
Right.
It's always been positive, and I love that.
Yeah.
And that's 51-49, man.
Rule number 9, do things for the long term.
You can't be all time if you didn't have results. You can't just say you're one of the greats. I can't say I'm one of the greatest badminton players of all time if I didn't do it. First, you have to do it. But the way he or she does that is by putting themselves in the best position to succeed. I met a kid last night, business went from 0 to $5 million in sales in 2 minutes. All Instagram, all the shit I spewed, I saved his life, I'm the best. I'm 27, Gary, I'm high energy, I'm just like you, and by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna be a billionaire. I stopped him. I said, why are you even doing that? First of all, you're probably not, because you're 27, you got 5 million, and I don't see anything that gets you to $1 billion in your behavior right now. Number 2, you pulled off an unbelievable thing. And you're downplaying your success because you're telling smart people like me you're gonna hit $1 billion in 30, and in 3 years I'm gonna see you and you're not gonna hit $1 billion, and you've set yourself for a loss. And most of all, and this is why I'm telling this story, if you truly are convincing yourself that you're gonna hit $1 billion by the time you're 30 and you're at 5 million from 0 at 27, and you're not gonna pull it off, all your behavior for the next 36 months is gonna be predicated on short-term behavior, not long-term behavior. And the best way to make real money, wealth, not being rich, is to do things for the long term because his life continues at 31.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is find merit in feedback.
I think that too many people, when somebody says something they don't like to hear, dismiss it as hate and a troll. I read it and question it and then decide, is there any merit to it? And the reason I've been able to evolve is because I don't just default if somebody disagrees with me or makes fun of me that they're wrong. I try to be thoughtful about what are they doing. 9 out of 10 times, it's because they're in a bad place and they're just trying to drag me down. But occasionally there's a point there that I kind of fester in and start subconsciously adjusting what I'm doing. Feedback is important.
Now I've got a really special bonus clip from Gary that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, if you're still here watching and you promise to commit to take action after watching this video, you don't just watch videos anymore, you do something, give me a hashtag believe in the comments because I wanna celebrate you.
When you have no money, you want money. When you get the money, you want the wisdom. Everybody's on their own journey. There is no right answer.
Right.
whether I say it or other people said something else, which I don't know, but I'm sensing, you need to do you. Legacy is greater than currency. Evan, thank you so much for having a couple seconds and being able to tell the Believe Nation a little bit about Empathy Wines. It means a lot to me that you would take this valuable real estate and time on your channel to give me some love. It means a lot. It's just good karma points, and so you're awesome. Thank you. Believe Nation, if you're into wine at all, go to empathywines.com. My whole career's work was poured into producing a wine that rivaled $40 to $60 wine for 20 bucks a bottle. I'm just super excited about this subscription-based wine business. You can order 3, 6, or 12 bottles in subscription form, rosé, white, red. If you search on Instagram or Twitter, you will be blown away. People are literally like, I don't even like Gary Vee, but the wine's good. Super proud of the effort. Thanks, Evan, for the time. Wishing you guys all happy and healthy.
If you want 10 more amazing rules from Gary Vee, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
I think people need to have bigger ambitions on impact.
Yeah.
Selflessness, humility. These are things that need to be attractive.